Well, here we are again, showing you more records, thrift store records. As you can see, I have the kind of the collector shirt here. You know, when you go to those collector stores or baseball court stores or whatever, baseball card stores, record stores. You always got those guys who wear the Hawaiian shirts, and they're usually balding, and they usually have that the gray ponytail. Well, I don't have a ponytail, and I still have some hair on top of my head. So, but it's an unseasonably warm day here in October in Wisconsin. I think it's like 80 degrees outside. It's unseasonably warm here. So, I'm actually drinking water instead of beer. Cutting out on the beer there. What I'm going to show you right now, I'm playing, this was a record by these guys. This was kind of like the first Genesis record. It wasn't anything like what they would do subsequently. If you know the history of Genesis, they originally wanted to become like a songwriting group, not really performing. But they kind of made this record with other musicians, I guess. It wasn't originally released in the U.S. It was released in Europe. I think it was called From Genesis to Revelation. But then after Genesis became big, they released it over here on London. I used to have this record back when I had most of the early Genesis records, and I'm glad I refound it. I only paid $1 for it at Goodwill. In a previous video, I showed you that I found the first U2 record, and I paid like 12 or 13 bucks. Well, guess what? Like a week later, at a Goodwill that I usually go to, I found another copy for $1.99. So I'm kind of kicking myself for buying that other one. But this one was a little different. This was a Portuguese pressing. Maybe I can show you the label real quick. It's Island, but it's a different label. It wasn't the green label. But it's kind of nice to have an extra copy, I guess, especially in mint condition of this one. Here's a record that I never got around to buying. Of course, this guy, he had that big splash because of his famous father. Of course, this was Julian Lennon, Velat. I haven't played this one yet. It's in excellent shape. Another group, veteran group. I don't think I played this one yet. Wishbone Ash, Locked In. Another guy recently passed away. I believe he's an Irish guy. You remember him from Stealers Wheel. And I remember when I was in Europe, I'm going to tie this into another record. This record was like super huge. Remember, he had like Baker Street and another record, but this was Jerry Rafferty. So I'm looking forward to playing that one. I used to have this record. I found another mint copy of this. This was kind of like a comeback record for them. They hadn't made a record in like 3 or 4 years before they released this one. This is Moody Blues Octave. This is another kind of, I think I already have another record like exactly like this, the same best of. This was late 50s, early 60s kind of mood music. This was Martin Denny. He made those kind of records with the tropical bird sounds and all that other stuff. Found a classical record by some of his famous compositions. I really into some classical stuff. Aaron Copland and some of his more famous stuff. I didn't really know this guy. I don't know. I don't know what kind of music he did, but this some guy named Jack Wagner. This was kind of like a extended play EP or whatever. Another kind of well-known solo instrumental guy, classical guitar guy, John Williams. This was another great record, kind of a compilation, the John Lennon collection. It's got like stuff from his early solo career, like Give Peace a Chance, Number 9 Dream, Mind Games, and then it's got a couple from Double Fantasy, like Watching the Wheels, and it's in mint shape. So this is a great find for me. This is a great album here. I've never come across this record. You come across Steppenwolf records, but they're usually like their greatest hits compilations. But this is a great concept record that they made. It's Monster. And the track Monster, which was kind of a hit, in this record, it's an extended version. It's kind of like it's very topical even now, because it talks about how the government, you kind of create a monster. It's like this government, they want to like control you, control the economy, things like that, socialism, I guess you'd call it, and all these other things. So even though this was made in the late 60s, it seems to be even more topical now. Found another copy of, or not another copy, found another record by these guys, Head East. And this was kind of a great find, I thought, personally. Never had any records by her. This is Marianne Faithfull, Go Away From My World, and it's in mono, so it's a great sounding version. If you know Marianne Faithfull, she was going with Mick Jagger at the time. The Stones wrote some songs for her. One became a big hit, As Tears Go By. This is kind of has like a folk rock kind of vibe to it. Pretty good singer. Has some interesting kind of arrangements on here, kind of folky rock type arrangements. This is a record I used to have, and I kind of missed not having it. This was their second album, Van Halen. Not really a huge Van Halen fan, but I always liked this record. I found this record. Wasn't really too much into them, but I thought it was in excellent shape, so I found this one, this Foghat record. Girls to Chat and Boys to Bounce. I don't really know much about this group. I think they're Dutch. I'm sure you guys know. I found this one, Crocus, Metal Rendezvous. I don't even know if this is a live record. I don't know. And then another one by them, Crocus, Hardware. I found a record I don't really come across. Come across other records by him, but I found this one, Santana. What is that? Caravanserai, something like that. I think this was her first or second album. This, the group Blondie, Parallel Lines. I think this is what, 78, 79. I've seen a lot of copies of this through the years, but this one was in mint shape, so I picked it up. Bad Company, Straight Shooter. And I found, I don't collect too much country, but I like to collect this guy, Merle Haggard. Hag. And Merle Haggard and the Strangers sing a sad song. And one more by him, Surveying 190 Proof. I mentioned earlier about being in Europe. I was in Europe in England in 78. I think I said 78. Um, what is linked to this record? We flew to England on Air India, and back then, you know, you had those little earphone things that you could plug into your seat. Of course, being Air India, most of it was ethnic Indian music. The only Western music that this tape loop or whatever that they was piped through the sound system, the only Western music was ABBA, and there was maybe like 6 or 7 ABBA songs, and the one I remember was "Thank You for the Music" and "Knowing Me, Knowing You." Well, I didn't really hear those songs too much after that, but I kind of liked them. I'm not like some big ABBA fan or whatever, but I do have Greatest Hits Volume 1. But I found Greatest Hits Volume 2, and it's got those songs on them. So I figure Greatest Hits 1 and 2, that's all the ABBA you would ever need, really. So I hope you enjoyed those finds again, and hope you tune in soon. And whatever you're doing, I hope you keep it groovy, whatever music you listen to. So thanks a lot, and bye for now.